What's up, guys? I'm Zach, and this is Lighting Up Orchard. It's been a minute, but it is July, so that means Christmas in July. And we always kind of joke about after we get back from the beach in July, it's Christmas time now. We didn't go to the beach this year because we have a new little one. But nonetheless, it's July, and so we are going to do another Christmas in July series, and this will be a 3 or 4 part series behind the bulbs. So this will be episode 1, and I just wanted to jump on here and talk about once July comes, that kind of does behind the scenes start the Christmas season. So if you're new to doing a show or you're interested in doing a pixel light show, this may be helpful to you because it does start well before what one would think entering the Christmas season. So first up is why do we start planning in July? So we do some of our own sequences. We do purchase some sequences, but anyways, you need to incorporate those into your show build. And so when we start that, we want to see if we have bought a sequence, what it looks like with our elements, and then if we're going to build a sequence, that takes hours. And so July, we start kind of listening to music, deciding on what songs, or is there a sequence out there that we've seen that we want to use. And then of course we either if we're going to use a sequence, we transfer that into our house preview and start working with it that way to hopefully get it to line up well so that it's appealing and aesthetic to the eye when it's played. And then of course if we're going to custom a sequence, then this is the time that we're going to start looking at the elements that we have, the show props. When I say elements, these guys, and you can see a few things behind me over here. What do we have, and what can we make it do during that song's beats, as well as this is a time too that we may not have all of the new show pieces that we want to get, but we have a pretty good understanding and selection of products that we're going to add as far as Coro props. And so we can still get those in on the computer system and put them where they're going to go in the show. And then of course, without getting into what those new props will be, we always do try to add new props, and we're going to this year as well. We didn't get to add the selfie station that we wanted to last year due to number of ports on this controller that I have over here. It is now fixed and up and running 100%, whereas last season only half of that controller worked. So we will be adding the selfie element or prop that we wanted to add, as well as a couple of features that we have never messed with. We've reached out to a couple other shows to get, but I will save those for maybe the last episode in this Christmas in July series as to what that will be. But I will give a hint. It is something that you want to build and to work with in the summertime, not the winter, because you just want it to run in the winter because it's not a great time even here, where in December it's not too terrible usually. You don't want to mess with that element. So that's the number one thing is that we get started with setting up our show and picking out those new sequences and adding those props. The second reason that we begin in July is we look at themes. Now, we don't always do a theme where as some will do 80s Christmas or hip-hop nights. Now, we have done a couple of those things in the past. Typically, what I've done the last 2 years is in between songs, I will use my 2 older children's voices to do maybe some jokes or some just what they think are funny little segments. Or we have done a couple of biblical monologues in between a couple of the more biblical Christmas music options. And so just to kind of tell a story. So we've done that, but of course we'll start looking at theme. Do we want to do a theme, or do we want to come up with jokes or little monologue sections that our children want to be involved in? And so we'll start kind of game planning there on, what do we see for this coming season. And luckily, I have two children that are 8 and 10 now, and so they're kind of the last year or so they've really liked to give some input. Some of it is valuable, some of it is kind of just out in left field, but that's okay. And so that's the big second reason is kind of narrowing down what do we want the show to look like theme wise, or if there's going to be a theme. And then the last thing that we really start at the beginning of July is picking those new songs. I like to, if we're going to build a sequence, I want those new songs identified July or at the latest August, because I take quite a bit of time to do a sequence. Now maybe that's because some think they're good. I think that it's just a long process for me, and maybe it doesn't go as smooth as it does for others. So I like to have a lot of time, and I'll listen to that particular song that I think we're going to add. I'll listen to it. I'll probably a dozen times or more before I ever start to sequence that song. And so, if we're not even going to add a new song, we will use some of these sequences that went over well. We usually like to do a poll in our Facebook group, Lighting Up Orchard, on what have been some favorite songs during that season, and the ones that do really well, we incorporate into next year's show usually, just because it saves time, and people may want to see them again. But there is still that need to update that sequence with the new elements that are added. Sometimes if they are maybe another sphere element like this, if there's something like this, or maybe they are more pixel poles, then those can be pretty easy to add to group models. If not, then if it's something that is unique, then of course we're going to have to add effects to it that flow with the song. And so that gives us a chance to get those songs updated to those new elements. And lastly, it gives me a chance in the software, which we'll go over probably in part 2 of this 3 to 4 part series in July. It gives me a chance to add these new features that we have not messed with, that like I said, we want to make sure we do them in the summertime and not the winter. It gives me a chance to get them into the program and actually see how they're going to work, and do I have things mapped out actually in the computer as well as I think I do in my head. And so July is a real good time for us to get a jump start on our show thoughts and how we're going to do things. Now, there are lots of times come September, maybe even October in the past, where we're like, oh, we should have done this. Yes, I think I can do it pretty quick, and we'll get it done. But I like to get everything pretty much identified and pretty set in the month of July, first or 2 weeks of August. So again, maybe not an exciting video, but I hope this helps. If you are a new show builder or someone who is looking to get into doing pixel shows, that this may help you. You want to get started early, identify your props, give yourself, they come in pretty quick. The pixels, pixel strands, and the props, they come in pretty early or pretty quick when you order them, but of course those vendors do get backed up as we get closer to the holiday season. So if you can get those ordered pretty early, you're going to get them earlier and a lot quicker, and you're going to give yourself time to mess with them to get them incorporated in your show. So again, thanks for watching this first series of Behind the Bulbs of what will be a 3 to 4 part series here in July. And since it is July, Merry Christmas.